Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to Lotto Fridays. If you stick with me through the first 5 or 10 minutes of data about the market, some of my trade recaps, what I'm looking for in the market today, I'm going to talk about Lotto plays, how you find them, the thought process that goes in, and what kind of returns you can have. Let's remember last Thursday/Friday in for $5 on Apple calls that went up to $95, a 19x return. Okay, so first, people are asking me what the hell I traded yesterday to get 100% return. On Discord, a few days ago, I bought the SPXS $14 calls at 17 cents. Understand, I sold them yesterday for $46 each. I could have got as much as 61, so I left some profit on the table, but my plan was to hold these. Now, I was originally planning to exit. I had some Rivian contracts, taking the loss on those. The SPXS calls were popping. They're up to 24 pre-market. I was looking to exit at 30 to 31. That didn't happen on the 5th. So I held them overnight. Same with coin. I was looking to exit originally at $5, $5.10. That actually did happen, but I moved it up to 550. 550 didn't happen. 548 was the top. So again, that was on the 5th. I found a new China bull times 3 ETF. And we all know that I think China is going down. China's heading to recession. What did I do? I bought some puts. What happened? This thing dropped. What, 8, 9, 9.5% yesterday, went back to 8%. Again, that's how you take profit. I'm going to explain what kind of market we're in. Also, yesterday, at the end of the day, or actually at 1 p.m., I was so tempted to buy some puts on the market because I was expecting the market to drop back down to 437. However, I changed my mind. I had a great day in the market with multiple accounts earning over 100%, and I need to enjoy the victories more. So that's just a quick lesson right there. There's no need to overtrade. You have some people that are very good at being 20-minute traders, meaning they set up a position, they enter, they secure profit, and they go about their day. I run Discord with Romeo, with Love, with Carlos, but I'm an intricate part that needs to update the market. So it's hard for me to separate and walk away, which is why I sometimes overtrade. With that said, let's get into a quick lesson about the market. So the market is currently like a rope-a-dope. For those of you that know what that is, one side starts out really strong, battles the other side. The other side is taking all the hits. Oh. Like yesterday when futures were red, right? The market kept dropping. People were selling. Now the buyers were waiting on the sidelines. Once people got tired of selling and we bottomed out, what happened? The buyers took over, and you knew that from the GEX levels. The GEX levels, if you use, and I'll show you on Discord again if you give me a couple of minutes, were 437 to 439, telling you that the SPY was going to trade in between those ranges, and then a new level opened up at 440, telling me we could fade a little higher. Now, understand, it is summertime. Summertime means generally lighter volume. Yesterday was some decent volume. But the reason we take profit is because when there's lighter volume, there could be quicker swings. When you get a spike in your stock, as many people that spiked your stock are looking to sell off. I mentioned Rivian yesterday morning, that retail is going to continue to push Rivian. But once Rivian turns the corner, similar to Upstart, similar to Affirm, it will come back down. So again, haven't done anything extra there. YouTube yesterday, I mentioned dark pool levels for the SPY, and we saw that 437 number, and we bounced back to 439 right between the two GEX levels. I took profit on my coin puts. I took really good profit on my SPXS calls. 168%. Now they went as high as 250%. And yes, I was in, I took profit in DraftKings puts, and I was in DraftKings calls 4 times the last week. So DraftKings is one of the stocks that I followed. Now let's talk about why the market dropped, and let's see where the numbers are this morning. Because the market dropped, let me just get to see where they are this morning after the jobs numbers came out. I wish I could find the jobs numbers. If anybody has the jobs numbers that dropped at 8:30, please share them with me. Okay, here you go. Breaking news. U.S. job non-payroll rise by 209,000. Estimated 225. Okay, so we had a number with 2. Understand ADP yesterday came in with their estimates at 497,000, whereas the job increase was supposed to be in the 200,000 range. So if the numbers came out this morning at 500,000, I would have been like, okay, downward pressure on the market. The fact that we're at 200,000, which is in line, the market probably just exploded. I'm looking at the SPY right now. Yes. So what is that telling me? It's telling me that the job numbers, which were making people fearful yesterday, which were spiking the 2-year and the 10-year interest rate, which were spiking the US dollar, putting bearish pressure on the market, might have subsided, because I heard talk that the Fed could possibly raise rates 50 basis points in July. Now, what would that need? What would you need to see? You need to see extremely strong job market. So does it surprise me that we're right back at the 440 range, right towards the high of yesterday? Now, I'm going to check out the 2-year and 10-year interest rate and see if those did any changes. I might need to give it a little more time. Yeah, I need to give it a little more time before that happens. Okay, so what else are we going to talk about this morning before we get into Lotto Fridays? And again, I'll explain Lotto Fridays. Here's an interesting fact. Small caps are looking shaky again going into earnings season. They did have a nice bounce in June, but you take something like Affirm Technologies, I think that lost like 16% yesterday. So yeah, it could bounce a little. You've got Upstart, probably dropped 8% yesterday. You're talking about smaller cap, more spec plays. So in order to have a bull market rally, you need everybody to participate. And smaller cap stocks look like they might be a little struggling again. Here's an interesting play. Not for a lotto play, but maybe a longer term play. Alibaba. Now, we know I hate China. However, Baba's spiking 3% pre-market. Why? Because there are rumors that China is about to settle the regulations claims against Alibaba and fine them $1 billion, which is fine for them. If they fine them $1 billion, they can then move forward with what they were proposed doing, splitting the company into 6 entities. Ma would be, the world's richest man again, or something to that extent. So I am contemplating Alibaba calls. I just really don't trust China. So if I went into Alibaba calls, I might go into some other puts, maybe like a PDD puts, to kind of offset that strategy. That way, if China does tank and Alibaba holds, PB. So anyway, that's just a theory. I spoke about payroll. Okay, Hong Kong to relax some mortgage rules to boost housing market. I mentioned what's going on in China. SPY yesterday, 3-point range. So remember, we're doing summertime trading. Summertime trading volume is generally a little light in the 60, 50, 60 million range. Yesterday, we came in pretty strong. So they were definitely continuing to buy the dip. When I say they, I mean institutions and banks. Remember, for about 3 months straight, they've been buying the dips, meaning anytime a stock dips, a strong stock, a leader of class, NVIDIA, AMD, Apple, Microsoft, Netflix, they're buying the dips. I'm not talking about your piece of shit stock that's a $4 stock that's now a $2 stock. You're like, hey, man, no one's buying this shit. Yeah, because it's a $2 stock. It probably doesn't make any money, which is why I like to keep my focus on highly active, lots of volume, makes it easy to get in and out. So again, 3-point range yesterday, 3-point range on Monday, 2-point range on Wednesday. So let's just say we have a 3-point range today. We'll go over bull case, bear case scenario, and that'll lead us into the lotto plays. Okay, so your bull case scenarios, where did the SPY close at? By the way, I mentioned Affirm Technology, so I'm just going to pull something up really quickly. Before I talk about Affirm, I'm going to pull something up really quickly. We're going to go to the flow and algos rooms. When there is less activity, you really need to focus on the flow and algos. So what am I looking at? Well, I'm looking at what everybody else is searching at this morning, because I already did my searching. So Alibaba, we're looking at the 515, right? We're seeing calls spike up here. Puts are still above 0 for net premiums. But as soon as the calls get closer to here and the puts, maybe they start to sell off a little, I might actually enter again. I would look for a dip on Alibaba. Again, we got another BABA flow here. This is your net flow. So here we are with the stock price, put premiums, calls coming up a little. But again, that was before the news that Alibaba is going to enter into a settlement with the Chinese government over the regulations and probably pay $1 billion in fines. So somebody was actually checking out Alibaba. Me, I was looking at Meta. After what Meta did yesterday, announcing their thread, which is going to battle Twitter. And then you have Elon saying you stole our AI, not our AI, our intellectual property, our IP. So there probably will be a court case there. So I was just checking out Meta, seeing the flow, but the Meta flow is still extremely strong towards the call side. So again, and this is what I was talking about yesterday. You got the 440, which will probably reject, 437, which will draw clear. What would I like to do? Well, I would like to wait until an hour into the market to look at this. I mentioned dark pool levels yesterday. I mentioned 438.26. I mentioned a gap to fill at 438.11. both pre-market, and we filled both gaps. So again, you're looking at the ranges. 436 would be support if we drop down there. 438.26 also probably support as we have a dark pool. This is a very light dark pool level at 10 billion. And then again, if we were to go up, I expect 443 to reject. Again, the market would need to be really strong today to hit that 443 number. But let's get right to it. Let me see if I can just let's see if I can pull up the SPY. We could talk about the SPY ranges here. Let's just cancel this. Again, if you have any questions, you guys are more than welcome to ask on the side. And then after I do the SPY bull case and bear case scenario, I'm going to talk about a lotto play and how that might factor in. Okay, so let's pull up the SPY real quick. Let's add this to the stream. Boom, there it is. Okay, so SPY real quick. SPY is sitting at this morning 439.50. We closed at 439.66. So we're just marginally down. Now, as you can see yesterday, let's go to the 5-minute chart. We're looking, there was a nice sell-off, gap down, sell-off, sell-off, sell-off. You finally find support right here. So again, you're talking about a 5-minute chart. So you're about 20 minutes of buying. So even if you bought in the market right here at 437, and again, if you go on Discord, I told Discord that we would likely be find a base at 437. I think it was 437.06, and we would likely trade back to 439. And where do we close? Well, shit, we went almost to 440. So again, these ranges are pretty damn accurate. Let's give it. Let's go for today's range. Let's see where we are. Okay, 439, today's range. Understand now, let me get a quick look at the 2-year and 10-year. The 2-year just dropped. I'm assuming the 10-year dropped as well. Is it under 4? 403, 4 hasn't dropped yet. Let's look at the US dollar as well. Let me see where the US dollar is. Okay, it just dropped substantially off those numbers at 8:30, which is why the market turned bullish. Okay, so again, keep your eyes on the 2-year, the 10-year, and the US dollar today. If you see any or all three of them go up, the market will go down. I'm trying to simplify it for everybody. If you see those rates go down, the US dollar like happened at 8:30, or the 2-year or the 10-year go down another 10 basis points or something like that, again, stronger market. Okay, vice versa. If you see those guys spike, look for bearish pressure on the market. Look for a quick sell-off, a dump of 1 or 2 points on the SPY. That's how I look at it. Okay, so bull case scenario, bear case scenario. Let's get right into it. We're sitting at 439 pre-market. We're deciding, or we're basing it on history, that the SPY is going to trade 3 to 3.5 points today. So you say to yourself, okay, the market gets dipped and then bought up, and we have a bullish day. So we're going to dip it open. What are we going to visit? We're probably going to visit that 437 number. Will we hit it flat? No, because people already know that there was support at 437 flat yesterday. So we might see something like 437.70, 437.60. Again, this is your bull case scenario. 437.70. Let's go up 3.25 points. Okay. 437 and 3 is 440. 70 plus a quarter is 441. So your bull case scenario is we drop off open, we hit that 437.70, 437.60, and then we springboard up, similar chart to what we saw yesterday. So again, we'd be up to 440, 441. That's your bull case scenario. Okay. For you bulls, for you lotto players, for you 0 days till expiration option people, that's what you want to look at. If you're a bull and you're saying, dude, Matt, they've been buying the dip. I've been running with that strategy for 10 straight trading days. It's worked for me for 10 straight trading days. Well, don't change it. When you see that massive dip to 437.70, buy those calls and you'll ride the same strategy. Now, your bear case scenario. Your bear case scenario is, okay, you think the market's going to drop. You're saying interest rates, even though they're coming down a little, they're still pretty high. The Fed has to act in July. You've got a reasoning for it. Again, the SPY is sitting at 439, so we're down pre-market. What's likely to happen? Off market open, you're likely to see the market get bought up. Why? Because that happens a lot. How is that a bear case scenario? Because we don't trade the first 5 minutes. So as the market's going up, boom, 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 we see 440, maybe 50 cents, something like that. Wherever you see it reject, $440.40, $440.50. You say to yourself, okay, Matt told me 3.25 points. If that is the high point and we come down from 440 and 50 cents, we're talking about 437.25. So again, you're coming up with the same numbers. Bear case scenario, bottom 437.25, 437.50, 60. Top number 441. It's just the question of what direction do we move into start? Do we go up to start like this and then significantly drop off and then rebound throughout the day and fade higher like we did yesterday makes a lot of sense. Is it a quick drop and then a quick spike up and then we fade higher? Okay, we've seen that again yesterday. Similar thing. Once we were in the basement, people thought we were going to drop a little more. No, we found support at 437. Will we go and touch 437 today? I don't know. Your bull case scenario says no, we're going to do 437.50 and then we're going to springboard up there. So those are your scenarios. Now, how do you make a lotto play? Today is Friday. Options expire today. Do you hop in at market open? No. First off, you say, I have a complete strategy. My strategy, and I'll give you a bull case scenario. My strategy is I'm a bull. They're going to buy the dips. I want to make a lotto play. I'm hoping the market sells off to 437.50 or 437.60. That's part of my strategy. When that happens, I will be purchasing. And then you go into your lotto play. Well, I'm looking for something with demand. So you say to yourself, okay, well, what has demand? Alibaba. We spoke about Alibaba. We spoke about Rivian. Total retail play right now. But you're looking for the market to throw up on itself, and then you want to find something that has demand. Carnival has demand. Carvana. I've seen Robinhood. Nike had a little demand. Walt Disney had some end-of-day buying. Affirm, even though I badmouthed Affirm, again, it had demand when it hit the bottom. So for lotto plays, you're like, okay, this option is a $26 option. I'm not paying $26. You wait for the market to go down to $437.50. That same option, which was $26, $27, now becomes an $8 option play. You buy it for $8. It goes up to $16. You're not crushing it, but you did get a rebound and a bounce. You want to get out, secure 100%. Great. If not, you can let it go. Maybe you think it's going to fade higher all day. You're going to return for 400, 300%, something like that. So again, have a complete strategy. If you want to buy the dip mentality, you're saying, I'm buying the dip mentality, waiting for the SPY to go down to 437.50 and then bounce higher from there. At 437.50, I'm going to get into my Lotto Rivian calls, my Lotto Lucid calls, my Lotto Tesla calls. Or you say to yourself, I'm a bear. Matt, I want to be a bear today. I'm a bear. I'm going to let the market spike to 440. When it spikes to 440 and I see rejection, you must see rejection first before you get into any lotto plays. You get it, see 440. You say to yourself, okay, well, I want to find these piece of shit, smaller cap tech stocks that when the market goes down back to 437, because we're at 440, let's say, and that's part of your strategy is being a bear, then you're saying, okay, well, Robinhood was 1080, it closed at 1040. Maybe it's 1041 and it opens at 1050 and it closes at $10.10. So you'd buy the 1050 puts, you'd pay, I'm just giving you an example for Robinhood. 1050 puts, they're $18 now. The stock opens up, Robinhood, it's green pre-market. These open up at $11. You have a bid in at $8. You wait for your bid to get hit. When it gets hit at $8, boom, you're looking to sell them for $16 to $20 again, maybe even more if the market, takes a little tank. So again, you can play a bull case, bear case scenario. What else would I be bearish on? I'm just going through my list right here. Russell, I kind of GameStop had a bunch of selling off, but GameStop is a meme stock, so I want to avoid that one. Yeah, how funny. Neo's at $9.50. Let's remember Neo was at like $10.80 the other day. I mentioned that their earnings were terrible, but again, China is doing everything to stimulate their economy, including the EVs. Okay, questions, comments. Okay, where do you check the 2-year and 10-year rates? Okay, very easy. You just Google it. I happen to use MarketWatch. I use marketwatch.com for everything. So the US dollar, and sometimes it's delayed a little, but I got the US dollar here. I'm using CNBC. Again, I just Google it and I'm like, okay, I trust CNBC. I trust MarketWatch. What else do I have up? I'm always looking at the E-mini futures to see what's happening, whether the market's spiking or not. These are all things that I have open. I always have oil open. Why? Because oil is crazy important. I mean, if we see oil drop, the market could have a little more stress on it. Okay, so back to, again, lotto plays, and then I'm going to head over to Discord real quick. Lotto plays, you're looking for some stocks that have momentum. You're looking for some stocks that have been bought up over a few days. So again, here's that Robinhood chart. Again, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 inflow days, 2 outflow, 2 inflow days, 1 outflow. If today is going to be bullish, then you're going to see Robinhood get back up to that 1080, 1090 number, up 50 cents, up 5%. If you're a bear today, then you're going to say Robinhood's going back to $10.04. So those $10.50 puts are going to be making money. You would pay $8, you'd sell them for $40. That's a 400% return. So again, it's all based on your strategy. If you're a buy the dip kind of guy and you're like Friday's going to close out strong, everybody just keeps buying this market, then you're waiting for the SPY to tank to 437.50, 437.60 this morning, 10, 20, 30 minutes after open, and you're looking to buy your end of day calls for today. You're a bear. You're like, I'm a bear. Market's already down. I'm missing out. No, you're waiting for the market to spike up to 440 and reject. What if it happens at 1 o'clock? Who the hell cares? You have a perfect strategy. If you're looking for 441 to reject and you finally see it at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it doesn't matter. Some traders need to wait all day. Some traders are overly anxious like I used to be, and they trade extremely early in the morning at 9:30. I don't trade till at least 10:30. First thing I do at 10:30, and I've told you guys this before, is I go over and I look at the GEX levels. As soon as 10:30 rolls around, because you have an hour of the markets at play already, so things are settling. Here, let's just see what it is, okay? So you're looking at the GEX levels. The GEX levels, TR, GEX, Z. We can look at it for the SPY. Oh, it typed it in all caps. I'm not sure it's going to work. GEX, Z, SPY. And then I could do it for. So GEX, Z, SPY told me yesterday that it was drawn up to 440, but 440 would reject. However, it was pulling down to 437. So when I said we were going to be trading between 437 and 439, 439 used to be green. Now this went red. This went green. So again, this is too early. But if we were at 10:30 and I was seeing this and the SPY was sitting, right at 439, I would say there's a good chance we get drawn down to that 437 level, bounce off that, and then potentially head back up. Now, if you see larger red lines open up at 435 and 435 becomes the max, or even 443, and we pass this 440 and 440 acts as support. So again, it's even more important than ever, whether it's our Discord or somebody else's Discord. You need to follow the flow of big money. You need to follow Discord. I spoke about the ranges, bull case, bear case. I spoke about the activity in the market, the jobs report, the 2-year, the 10-year, the US dollar. I spoke about how to play lotto options. Again, you don't want to purchase as soon as the market opens. You want to have your strategy. I'm bullish, then I'm going to wait for the market to drop before I buy my calls, whatever they are. You're bearish, then you're like, okay, well, I'm actually hoping the market spikes off open to 440, 441, rejects, and then I'm going to get into that. So I appreciate everybody staying with me. Got to run out today. I'm going to be limited on Discord. I've got take my kids to camp. Then my ex is having a biopsy. I've got another doctor's appointment. So maybe I'll check back around 1 in the afternoon. If you like what I do, please thumbs up, join Discord. See you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Remember,